Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while since I have posted a video, but unfortunately I did go through a family tragedy and some life changes, so I definitely have to do a updated get ready with me. But I wanted to jump on here today and do a review of the new Patrick Ta nude palette that came out. This is supposed to have some cream shadows in it and some other very cool colors, and it is nude based, which I love. So we're going to play around with this and see how it works and if we like it and if it's worth your $65. So if you want to see how I got this look as well as see what's inside, then please keep watching. So this is the new Patrick Ta palette. This is currently in Sephora, online, and in stores. This retails for about $65. So this is the package. It comes in his standard little carton. And when you pull it out, it's this beautiful pink chrome packaging. And you open it, and there are 12 palette shades in here. The first two are in this little compartment which opens and closes, which they are the cream based shadows, and then the ones on the bottom look like they are the matte shades, and then we have the sparkle shades up top. Okay, so these are all of the shades swatched out. Hopefully I am doing a good job at showing you them. Haven't done swatches in a while. And the first two are the cream shadows. Then we have all of the matte shades, and at the bottom here we have the chrome kind of sparkly shades. So let's jump in and see how the formula works. I definitely am going to drop down a cream shadow first, just because I think the matte shades will stick nice to it. Usually when you have a cream product, it's better to put powder products on top just to kind of set and hold it. So we're going to use one of the cream bases first. I'm just going to use a regular all over shadow brush. This is my Sigma E40. I think I'm going to pick up the lighter cream shade first just to build, just because I don't know how intense it's going to be and I don't want to go too crazy with a dark shade, as I am kind of on the fair side. So I already primed my eyes with some concealer and powder, so I'm just going to take this on my brush and work it in. There is immediate pigment. I took one dip and this is what we started with. So there is a lot of pigment in this, and I'm barely touching this brush onto my eyelid. So I'm not even pressing hard, it's just a light sweep, and you can already see a lot of pigment. And I have to say it looks more like a powder than it does a cream on the eye. And it's not hard to blend at all. I feel like as soon as I touched my eye, it just melted right in. Okay, so now we have the cream base down. I have to say it blended beautifully, and it moves very seamless. Like, it doesn't get stuck, which I kind of was thinking it would do. I thought it was going to kind of be hard to move around, but the formula is very smooth, it's very buttery and easy to work with, and it looks like a powder shadow when it is actually a cream shadow. So moving on, we're gonna try going over it just to intensify it with one of the matte shades. And I'm just gonna take this shade right here at the bottom, and I'm gonna set that. And there's also not a lot of fallout from what I'm getting. Like, I touched the pan and barely any came off my brush, which is good. And another thing about the cream shadow is it was very not super tacky, but it was tacky, which is something you want, because then that means that the shadows you put on top are going to stick. So this is going to act as a base for any eyeshadows you apply on top. I think I want to deepen just the outer V of my eye. And to do that, I'm going to take my Sigma E25 brush. It's just kind of like a flat head, which works perfect for this. I'm going to take that dark brown shade that was right next to it, which is also on the matte side. And I'm going to apply this, again, just in that outer V, just to kind of darken it up a little further. the shadows seem to pack on one another very nicely. I'm going to do a glitter topper over what I already have going on. I think I want to take this really like champagne-y color here, and first we'll put it on with a brush dry and see how it works. Actually, we'll put it on with a damp brush, and then we'll do our finger, because I personally find that every sparkle shade that I use, if I do it with my finger rather than a brush, it comes out 10 times more intense, but that's a personal choice. Okay, so it is super pigmented with a wet brush. I'm going to take my finger and just see if it makes a difference. Like I said, personally, I find that a wet finger just seems to be the better trick. So let's see. Yeah. Every time. I don't know what it is. I don't have any clue, but for me, I just personally like it super intense, and I feel like doing that with my finger just makes it 10 times more vibrant. We're gonna do some shadow on the waterline. I'm gonna go back in with that first shade we used, which was like a red brown, and I'm gonna start with that on the outer. I'm going to follow it up with this really light brown right here. Alright guys, so I will be right back. I'm going to do some mascara and maybe apply some lashes, and then we will discuss. Okay guys, so this is the final result. I really love how this came out, and I really loved playing with this palette. And I think for the price point, it is on the pricey side, but I do feel like part of that is packaging. It is well made, and I think that the whole idea of the cream along with the actual pigment shadows, I think that was a great idea, and I think that's part of what the price point is. Not only that, but you are getting a decent amount of shadows, and it does blend well, so it is well made. So if I had to say, would I say $65 is a little steep? Somewhat, but when I look at like Natasha Denona, whose palettes range from like $60 to hundreds of dollars, I kind of feel like the formulation is similar to Natasha Denona, so I could kind of see why the price point is $65. And honestly, I wouldn't think twice about buying it again for $65, just because I love neutrals and you can never go wrong with a neutral palette. Not only that, but I find them to be very very pigmented, and they are very blendable, and that's something that I look for in a palette, just because it makes my life easier. And especially when the shadows blend well, it makes it easier and quicker to get the look you're trying to create faster, instead of like a dull shadow that you have to keep building and building and building. This just blends effortlessly, and it has so much pigment, so it's not a matter of just piling on shade after shade after shade. It just gives it to you right in 1 second. So I definitely would say, if you're interested in this palette, you should definitely pick it up. And if you're not someone who would typically gravitate towards this, I think you will actually really love it, and I do think it is beginner friendly. As always guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please make sure you hit the subscription button as well as the bell icon, so you can be updated every time I upload a new video. And as always guys, I love the support, and I thank you all so much, and I can't wait to see you again.